these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
What you say?
You want to know if you support reparations?
I'm sorry?
You want to know if you support reparations?
I support reparations, but other than that name, y'all need to learn what reparations is. Y'all keep talking about a word. It means to repair.
It's cash payments for all.
Hell no. You never get it.
Why not? That's why we need your support. You got a lot of power.
You will never get it.
You have a lot of leverage.
Let me ask you a question.
You get our support. We've been dedicated to you for a very long time.
Will you listen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you are mulatto and you are allowed to get an education, and this person is not allowed to get an education, how will you measure which one to do what?
I was allowed to get an education, but I'm still.
That's not the point. You're talking about the law. You're talking about the law. You're talking about my wife, whose grandfather was white, and therefore her mother could get educated, but her daddy was African and could not get educated. How do you measure that?
But Africans get educated now. You support Africans getting educated right now.
We're not living in Africa.
You living in America.
Okay. I know you got more sense than I got. I understand that.
Thank you.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially, and this is the midweek report. We are talking about Democratic mascots, or Democrat mascots, shall we say. And as you already seen, we opened with good old Catfish Nugget Clyburn. And, also we gave you a little blast from the past of old Hillary Clinton as well, because a lot of people thought that black folks should have came out and voted for Hillary Clinton, as they are trying to tell you that you should go out and run out and vote for Joe Biden. And then you will have the conservative side that will tell you to go run out and vote for Trump. Well, as I've often stated, my position is we vote our own interests. So that means if either candidate or either party is not offering anything to our constituency, our lineage, well, then, there's another candidate in the race. and that is couch. So, with that being said, again, welcome. As you are coming in, hit that like button, if you will, family. Please share this out, if you will. And also, if you have not already subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so now. Also, if you would like, you can also become a member of this channel as well. I hope everybody his week is going well so far. We are not going to be here too long, but we got a few things to get through. Cause yeah, there's a lot going on. That is that is looking really odd. So you know, I want to talk about a few of these black politicians, namely old Frankenstein here on the screen, who is taking it back to his Black Baptist roots. And so we got to talk about that. But first, before we do, let's see who we have in the chat thus far. One who cares is in the building. Good evening, my good sister. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. David Boyd in the building. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here. And Black First to both of you, always. In the mix, radio in the house. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you. I think that you supposed to say STL, DTL, because you in St. Louis, right? Yes, indeed. In the mix, radio in the house. Yes, indeed. Black First. We have Tia to you in the building. Prosperity, health, and bliss. Thank you, my good sister. I appreciate you. Okay. Yes, indeed. Black First from St. Louis. Yes, indeed. The P-Funk, yes, indeed. Riding with that P-Funk, absolutely. Sister Miriam in the building. Shout out to you, my good sister. It's always good to see you in the building. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here as always. Black First. Patricia Slade in the building. Jersey City is here. Black First. Appreciate you. Thank you. And we have our good sister Judah Queen in the building. Black First fam. Shout out to you, my good sister. Thank you as always for being here and being a member and being I think my longest moderator. See who else we have in the building. Lynette Williams, Black First, Montgomery, Alabama. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. All right. And as Judah Queen said, Biden and Trump can kick rocks barefoot. Yes, indeed. And Miriam says, St. Louis, I'm in East Illinois. Yes, indeed. All right. So let's see. Where are we going to start first? Let's see. Where do I want to start? You know, I guess I'll address the next thing because everything else is going to be pretty heavy in one direction. So the young non-binary girl out there in is that Oklahoma? Oklahoma, they kind of tried to make this it seems like they were trying to make it something that it actually wasn't. It seems like it was a mutual combat type of situation. And the way that when this story first came out, if y'all will remember, they were making it seem like this girl had passed away from her injuries. And that is not true. That is not true whatsoever. So yeah, that was really weird. But let me see if I got that here. Let's see what's here. Okay. So I'll play this first. Or not play it, I'll read it. It's not a video. It's an article. because this is how they were kind of presenting it at first. After next Benedict's death, LGBTQ Oklahomans vowed to quote, not let the hate take over. It says, the recent death of non-binary student Next Benedict, who died one day after a physical altercation inside a school bathroom, has sent shockwaves throughout the LGBTQ plus community in Oklahoma. No, they just was using this girl's death as or this non-binary individual's death as a platform to further their own political agenda. Because the way they were making it seem, somebody ran out there a little heavy and wrong. While it's not clear whether the incident involved Nex's gender identity, the 16-year-old's family has said the teen endured months of bullying at Owassa High School. Now, that part is interesting because, again, this is what the parents are saying. See, and that's an issue. And I'm going to get into my issue with this because, but let me read on first. For Sarah Adams and other parents of queer kids, it has again raised the haunting question, where can we truly be safe? The question takes on added weight in a state that has introduced more than 50 anti-LGBTQ pieces of legislation so far this year, more than any other state in the nation, according to the American Civil Liberties Union. Oklahoma lawmakers pushed more than 40 bills in the previous session. Wow. As members of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, Adams and her son are both Two-Spirit, the indigenous term that can refer to gender identity. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I lost my spot here. Got to move it over to a different screen. Bear with me. Okay. The indigenous term that can refer to gender identity or sexual orientation and is used in different contexts depending on the tribe. For Adams, it reflects her masculine and feminine spirit. Mm-hmm. It's the worst fear of any parent that your child could be harmed and you won't be there to help. It feels like we've failed at being able to do the one thing that we should be able to do, and that is to be able to protect our kids. Many details remain unknown about Nex's death. 2 weeks after the teen was declared dead at a local hospital, the Owasso Police Department said an investigation is ongoing. Separate autopsy and toxicology reports are expected too. Next Benedict, who was non-binary, attended high school at Owasso, a suburb of Tulsa's a suburb of Tulsa. Nex's death is raising concerns in the LGBTQ plus communities and igniting fear in some families and students. I think this is a little overhyped, don't you? What has become clear for many within Oklahoma's LGBT, boy, they keep going on. Two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning and other identities communities is they do not feel safe, which has nothing to do with this incident. Lawmakers have banned trans and non-binary students from using bathrooms that align with their gender identity, eliminated gender-affirming care for minors, and passed a law narrowly defining Yeah, narrowly defining of male and female. Making clear that queer and trans people in Oklahoma are under attack, said Nicole McAfee, the executive director of Freedom Oklahoma and LGBTQ plus advocacy group. Okay, so I'll just stop there because as you see, you've already heard, you're hearing about these different groups or whatnot. None of these people are literally tied to this case at all, but they are taking this thing and, man, we're going to make it something. Notice how quiet they've been in the past few weeks, though. See, that's where the proof is. The proof is in the pudding. Notice how quiet that they have been over the past few weeks. They have been ultra silent. And, no surprise. No surprise there. So let me see. I need to get this other video in here. Where is it? I'm trying to put it in here. Bear with me. There it is. Okay. So let me. Okay, let me share this. Let me share this screen. Because, okay, remember the part to where the mother had actually said that the kid had it didn't say the mother, but it said the family. The family said that this girl had endured months of bullying, right? Well, the police body camera footage has been released. And I found when I saw this, my antenna went up. So, wait a minute. This reminds me of the 6-year-old boy whose mother is now in custody and has she's got charged state and federal. Asia Taylor, over her son shooting her 6-year-old son, taking her gun into school and shooting his teacher. And the way that they were talking about that kid, because of course they were not, the child's a minor, he's not being charged as an adult, of course. So you couldn't release his identity. But the way they were talking just let us know, especially me, that the kid had to be black. At first, because they were playing with the optics of it, how they were reporting this story. So they kept showing black mothers in all the stories. And the reason why they were doing that is because it was a black mom, but it just wasn't the ones that they kept showing. However, here's this mother that is sitting up in here and said that there was bullying for months. Bullying for months. That's here straight from the deceased's mouth.
Before this ISP thing, we never saw each other as freshmen or sophomore.
Okay.
We didn't know. I don't know their names. I don't know.
Okay. So we just up and decided to just start messing with you. There was
because of the way that we dress.
Okay, so you didn't do anything at all at any point in time that would have even a couple days ago or even a month ago or anything like that.
I don't know these girls.
Okay, all right.
Not so sure if I believe that part to begin with, but all right.
So they just continue to pick on you and pick on you. Then at some point you did what happened? They got up and confronted you in class, or or did you say it was the bathroom or the hallway? Okay, the bathroom.
We were going to stack chairs, and after we stacked chairs, we went to the bathroom.
Okay.
And I was talking with my friends, they were talking with their friends, and we were laughing, and they had said something like, "Why do they laugh like that?" And they were talking about us in front of us. And so I went up.
Okay, so did you catch that? They were talking about us in front of us. Why are they laughing like that? Okay, so here's okay. And yeah, there was some things that there was some things that rubbed me wrong right there. Because when I start hearing stuff like that, it's like, well, wait. Are these girls that she's talking about black? Because number one, they weren't talking to her at all. So the whole bullying premise that they keep pushing, she was bullied for months. Number one, the very first thing that she says is, well, no, before this incident, I never seen these girls. Why is her mother in there pushing this false narrative? You understand what I'm saying? Now, the mother wants to press charges, mind you, at the moment.
Up there and I poured water on them.
Okay.
And then all three of them came at me. They and so I went up there and I poured water on them.
Okay.
And then all three of them came at me. They came at me. They grabbed onto my hair. I grabbed onto them. I threw one of them into a paper towel, and then they got out from under me and got me on the ground and started beating the shit out of me.
Okay.
And then my friends tried to jump in and help, but I'm not sure. I blacked out.
They put their hands on you, okay, and it was unwanted. I will also tell you, though, that old saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, meaning the way the courts are going to look at it is it's a mutual fight, okay? So both parties are victims, but both parties are also suspects in this. You get what I'm saying? You're a offender as well. So I will absolutely do a report. If that's what you want, I can do, okay, but I'm just letting you know. The other party wants to do the same thing. She's going to be, the assault will be on her as well. Because she first assaulted. She was the one who initiated it, essentially, because you have freedom of speech. You can do all this all day long. The action of physically, the moment she threw that water, you've now assaulted somebody. You made the first jab. Just because it doesn't make it right, but they defended themselves, quote unquote. You retaliated back. Now we've got this back and forth when both parties had equal opportunity to separate. So that's where I'm saying it's not going to be in the best of light for you, but I can absolutely do that if that's what you want.
Boy, he's doing a whole lot of explaining to her, ain't he?
The direction you want to go. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'm here to just say, this is the facts. This is what's presented. But mom as guardian, because essentially juvenile cannot make that legal decision. If you want to proceed with it, absolutely. I will have you write a statement. I'll document it, but I'm going to have to do the same thing for them. And if they say that, I'm going to gather their information as well. And based on her own admittance on camera, as well as whatever else, she essentially started it.
Yeah. And so, if you want to know the update on that, yeah, the mother decided that pressing charges really wasn't the route that she wanted to go. Instead, she just wants them to report it at the school and complain and make a complaint to the school. Oh, no, but all that energy for pressing charges, that's out the window now. Because at the very end of the day, this goes down to who started it. And out of her own mouth, an admission to a police officer who is literally with his body camera on, recording it. Yeah, there's that. Oh my goodness. Oh man. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not laughing at the fact that this girl has passed on, but the way that they came out, you would have thought that these girls beat this girl to death. Number one, you just see her in that bed. And then there's a video of her walking out. You understand what I'm saying? So the whole thing about it is, like, the way they're promoting this is like, oh, it's a whole anti-trans and LGBTQ or whatever. Number one, there was no they, them talk in this conversation either. This was her, and there's no pushback on I'm not a her, I'm a they. There was none of that. They just took that. So yeah, even the whole non-binary line, come to find out that actually hasn't been completely confirmed to be true. So, I mean, there's so many holes in this story. Thanks, Nightbot, for being here. I appreciate you. There's so many holes in this story. And then the way that they described how that girl passed, and I heard the 911 call or whatever. She's like, her eyes is rolling back in her head. It's literally sounds, what she described sound like an overdose. Like that's not a injury from a fight. And then the mom proceeds to tell the 911 operator all of these lists off of a few different medicines that Next was taken. So this is a hell of a low to get out here and try to do. And then they was going to try to railroad them little girls. Don't miss that. Please do not miss that. They were using this as a tool to railroad them little girls. Them high school girls that was in a mutual fight. And here's the other thing. Now, when you hear the news reported, they make it seem like she got jumped. It was a mutual fight between at least 6 girls. And clearly she made it out all right because she over there, I don't even know why she's strapped up to anything. That don't even make sense. It was already over the top. That's already doing too much. But nonetheless, good grief. Shout out to Dark Skin Brother, man. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. And thank you for being here, being a member and a moderator. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you, my good brother, and yours. Yes, indeed. Black First. And Black First Coffee in the building as well. Black First. I appreciate you. Let's see. Did I get everybody? I saw some heads pop in here. We got Black woman stand up in the house. Peace, Black First fam. Yes, indeed. Thank you for being here as well as my good sister, Ms. D at Suite 201. Hey. I appreciate you for being here as well. And we got Black Anthem in the house. Salute. Black First, my brother. Black Anthem in the building. Or if you're a sister, I'm not sure. Or if you go by they or them, you know, don't let me mess up your pronouns. Yeah, I mean, no offense. All right. So yeah, this part of the conversation where you got the mother really wanting to like go forward with pressing charges, like it was really that serious to her. And then really when she learned that, so really my kid is going to be the one who is going to be looked at in the worst light here, because no matter how you slice it, she started it and she was the aggressor. Period. For girls that weren't even talking to her, by the way. So that should not go unnoticed that her mother walked straight in there. I want to press charges on some teenagers. See, when they talk about little Becky, they say, we don't want to ruin her life. This woman is coming into the high school to get charges put on children. So yeah, just don't, when you see stuff, don't let this one go by. I mean, And I keep looking. I got it. I'm waiting for my news alerts to start going off to tell me that her toxicology report done came out. So yeah, I want to hear that. All of this, she was beat to death. They was trying to make it seem like she was beat to death. No, she was not. Mary Evans in the building. Shout out to you. Shalom, Beatzilla and dark skin brother. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here this evening. Yeah, so these folks is something else, man. You gotta be so. Prime example. That Carolyn Bryant spirit. You know, that's dangerous. From the parent to the kid. And then, I mean, here's the other thing. You done brought all this attention to the death of your child. What I do want to know is if this comes to be an overdose, what kind of liability will it be on the parent? Because, you know, I know out here, they don't put no liability on the parent out here. If you're non-black, of course. If you are, as our brother Tory and Ray say, PC. Yeah, if you look like this guy. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Let me get this over here. So what else? Where do I need to go next? Okay, so Hakeem Jeffries. We'll just get him out the way. Yeah, let's get Hakeem Jeffries out the way. Where is my other window at? Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me bring this over here. So I'm just going to kind of skim through this article because this is really just to show the level of pandering that they've been doing. And they're doing a lot of pandering to us here lately. All of a sudden, let's talk black. And with Hakeem Jeffries, y'all know I'll be on his topic because this man never can ever utter the word black. You know, he likes to stay away from black. But now, you know, that the black conversation, black issues, the black vote is the topic of discussion. This article headline reads, How Hakeem Jeffries' Black Baptist upbringing and deep-rooted faith shapes his House leadership. So this is, you know, when they stood together at the National Prayer Breakfast, what did it say? Quote, put our political differences aside. So, yeah. But something that says, such differences are vast between Johnson, of course, he was there with the speaker, a staunchly conservative Republican, and Jeffries, a hero to liberal Democrats. I don't ever recall hearing him being mentioned as a hero, but whatever. Okay, so I'll go down here because they keep putting these, they never want to mention the word black. So every time they mention the word black, just all of a sudden this got really super duper black. Okay, so the next paragraph that I'm going to read is it was a fleeting moment of unity for the two Baptist leaders who work side by side in the House but are miles apart politically and theologically. Jeffries, whose faith is rooted in the black social gospel, I don't even know what that means, has not been shy, just not as outspoken as Johnson regarding the role faith plays in his political duties. Jeffries spoke in depth with the Associated Press about his religious upbringing, which was centered at Cornerstone Baptist Church in New York City, borough of Brooklyn. He declined to several invitations to comment on present-day dynamics in the House, including the lingering cross-party tensions brought on by Donald Trump's presidency and his efforts to contest the 2020 election. However, Jeffries' religious commitment while in office has been noticed by his political peers. Okay, so, and here's Nancy Pelosi praising their choice Negro, who AIPAC approves of. There is nothing that the public can detect more clearly than sincerity, especially young people. They know when you're real. In terms of being a person of faith and justice, Hakeem Jeffries is real, said former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Come on, man. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Okay. Because he's talking about faith and Christianity. And then Jeffrey also is deeply familiar with the Bible. For example, he has shared on social media a passage from the New Testament's book of Ephesians, in evoking the need to, quote, wrestle against spiritual wickedness in high places. Partner, you are the spiritual wickedness in high places. Even if you are not at the highest. But brother, you are there. What are you talking about? It's the humble and the meek that are wrestling with your wickedness. But you couldn't show that you were any more wicked than trying to use the Lord to further your wicked. See, people think that they fear. No, they don't fear him. They don't fear the Most High at all. Nah. Some of these people have completely sold their soul to Satan. Believe it or not. They do. That's all you need to know. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. For Jeffries, age 53, his leadership in the House traces back to his formative days growing up and serving at Cornerstone, a historically Black congregation which he still attends. It quote, it certainly was important, was an important part of my mother's life, and therefore my younger brothers and myself, unquote. Cornerstone in its heyday was the spiritual home for many grandchildren and great-grandchildren of enslaved African Americans who fled to Brooklyn from the South for better opportunities, including war industry jobs. The church has long been part of the National Baptist Convention, the largest Black denomination in the United States. Cornerstone and the Black church more broadly taught Jeffries how to build consensus, said the Reverend Al Sharpton, the civil rights leader who met Jeffries as a young lawyer, navigating competing in-house constituencies and varied personalities gave him the temperament needed to lead a diverse, complex body of people, Sharpton said. Quote, he became committed to doing what he thought was right, rather than doing what was politically advantageous for his own benefit, unquote, Al Sharpton said. Not if he's taking money from AIPAC, bruh. I don't think so, but I guess that goes to show who else is also getting some checks from AIPAC too. Go figure. In his youth, Jeffries became one of Cornerstone's white-gloved dues-paying ushers. Come on, man. You guys are pouring it on thick. Oh, man. So where's the pictures? Really? You gonna tell me that this man was he was on an usher board at a church with the white gloves? Then he's on an usher board photo somewhere. Where is that picture? Yeah, don't tell black folks anything like we don't know what time it is. Family. For those of y'all who have family and grown up in the black church, am I telling the truth or not? If you on that usher board, there is a photo of the usher board that you are on. It's somewhere around in any type of event. Oh yeah, y'all was taking pictures. Stop it. So there's some photos around somebody's church, the old usher board photos. This is when the ushers put on the tea after church. This is a usher board coffee hour. You just come to the multi-purpose room after church and have some refreshments put on by usher board number 2. Oh, man. You really, come on, man. I guess. But I just have to say, show us the photos, please. Because I call cap. But I guess. So he was a white glove dude paying usher, tending to crying babies and handling neighborhood of traffic issues during worship services. Hakeem said that being an usher taught me how to count, engage, and serve. Jeffrey said his maternal grandmother, a longtime Cornerstone member, often shared a prediction. Quote, I think one day you're going to be a preacher. Well, he's not. Her grandson took another path of service, but Jeffries did make certain to get the blessing of 2 Brooklyn pastors, including Cornerstones, before entering his first New York legislative race. Here we go again. Over the decades, Jeffrey has been inspired by numerous black leaders whose civil rights advocacy was fueled by their interpretation of the gospel. Among them was the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., a friend of Hakeem's childhood pastor, Reverend Sandy F. Ray, Harry S. Wright, Cornerstone's pastor after Ray's death in 1979, said Jeffrey's upbringing at the church shaped him for life of service. Oh, Lord. Let me see. Okay, yeah, here's some more. But this doesn't it says African American. Jeffries came of age during the uptick in police brutality cases in New York and elsewhere. He says his decision to attend law school and dedicated himself to the fight for racial justice was motivated by the 1992 acquittal of 4 white policemen in Los Angeles after they had been shown on video brutally beating an African-American man, Rodney King. After they are really trying to black up Hakeem Jeffries, ain't they? Yeah, he's just 53. Yeah, he's only 53. Oh, they are really trying to blacken this dude up, aren't they? Let's see. Now, this is kind of I wonder who the hell wrote this. This has got a different kind of reference, but check this out. Since entering Congress in 2013, Jeffries has been true to his roots. For instance, he was lead sponsor of 2015 measure outlawing police use of the chokehold and other tactics hindering a person's breathing. Early in his congressional career, when Jeffries needed help injecting theology into one of his speeches, he asked for the advice of Representative Emanuel Cleaver. Cleaver, an ordained United Methodist minister, said that kind of deference to himself and toward the late former colleagues like John Lewis and John Conyers and Elijah Cumming endeared Jeffries to the Congressional Black Caucus. Well, man, you just took your car and parked it, didn't you? I mean, good grief. But I mean, now this man never gets up there and mentions black folks at all. He'll talk about Americans, but he ain't gonna say black. Everybody else that talks about him uses the word black about him more than he'll ever say it. I don't know if y'all really watch Dude that much, but yeah, just peep how Dude is so hard for him to say black. Oh, and here goes the witch in the wind. I mean, in Nancy Pelosi hopes that Democratic success in November will enable Jeffries to claim her former position as Speaker of the House. She depicts him as a man of deep faith who believes there's a spark of divinity in everyone. She goes on to say Hakeem's attitude, his language, and the rest, and in fact, his beautiful speech from the Bible on the podium when he was handing over the gavel to a new speaker, which he'll be receiving back in about 10 months. His attitude? He's a good one. You hear somebody like Nancy Pelosi referring to a black man. Hakeem's attitude, his language. Oh, he speaks so well. Oh my God. And people will read stuff like that and be like, oh, that's a big up to him. No, it's not. No, that's not a big up at all. That's a hell of an insult, by the way. His attitude? Oh, you know that just means he's a safe Negro. That's all that means. These folks don't give a damn. Oh, my Lord. Whew. Brutal. Oh, brutal. And so they're trying to roll him out because, again, they want to make him speaker, which don't nobody really fool with no Hakeem Jeffries. You know, he is not our speed. Not Frankenstein. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Get a drink of water. Oh, no, not Frankenstein. Not Frankenstein. But nonetheless, we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure when he's up for re-election, but I would imagine probably if it's not this go around, I guess his time would be 26. That'd be the next midterm. So let's see how things are shaking. Oyela's Cadence in the house. Hey everyone. Hey Oyela. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here as well. Black first, my good sister. We are now international. And hey, we have our good sister Angelic Elena in the building. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here. And it is perfectly okay if you are late. Because you could always come back on Saturday and or the weekend, and however, like whenever the replay squad hits, you could join the replay squad. And shout out to to Team Replay. I appreciate y'all very much as well. Y'all don't get a chance to get in the chat, and we don't get a chance to interact with y'all up here, but I appreciate y'all. So shout out to Team Replay. I appreciate y'all. So where we're going next? I don't know. The Democrats got a real issue. And now that they have finally kind of backed off of that whole black men are going to Trump. No, black men are not. However, see, when you're talking about black conservatives was already conservative. So that whole speech that he's doing to the black conservatives, it's like, you kind of take that with a grain of salt anyway. I mean, because it literally, but this whole, we're going to address a few things here because as we see here in Michigan, that was the uncommitted vote. They were able to get 2 delegates. And so, wow, lo and behold, who would have thunk it? A protest vote actually worked. I wonder where they got that idea to say, hey, if you're not going to listen to us, we're going to show you and weaponize our vote. Wow. And, as recently, there's a person that has a YouTube channel, by the way, that complains about us new black media YouTubers. And one of the things, she's kind of stepped out there for a while. And she has, she claims to be a proponent of reparations. And for all intents and purposes, I can say that she probably is that. What has happened is the group, the organization of descendants that we share the same lineage of, but they have a certain feeling about certain folks, and so everything is personal for them. When we're talking about lineage, they're talking about their organization's leaders and who took this from what and what got taken from that. Well, here's one thing that all of you people can now sit up here and shut your mouths about. You can't sit up here and say, hey, all y'all are doing is following this person or following that person. Oh, no. Because now your complaint is directly with us. You can't even go to the big 3. No, the grassroots slapped you in your mouth. And you're upset because the grassroots can speak for itself. While you were worried about being the leader, lead your organization and stop sending your minions to worry about things going on. Well, I would have to say, if you're going to vote blue no matter who and say, well, we need something out of this party and allyship is a 2-way street. Well, this right here is nothing for nothing. And what it does do is say something. because also silence is, don't they say silence is a weapon? So that's a strong identity of identification right there. You're seeing it of a weaponized vote or non-vote. But see, in this country, it has always taken protest in whatever shape, form that may be at the moment. Protest. You weaponize your vote. No tangibles, no vote. No black agenda, no vote. Why isn't that sensible? Everybody else has a caucus that literally operates in their group's behalf. Hispanic caucus helps advocate for Hispanic issues. They're over here working double time trying to get stuff that we are entitled to that they are not. In the meantime, on both sides, so no one can come around us talking them this, man, y'all at the Trump, and man, y'all some Trumpers, man. I don't waste much time talking about Donald Trump because he's Donald damn Trump. What you expect out of him? He ain't the one that's used black folks as a mule. Talking about that donkey, you might as well paint it black. Because the only donkey for the Democrats are Negroes. You understand me? And I to be quite honest, I think that's more or less really what that is standing for these days. That might be an inside joke for them. But on the flip side, when you see stuff like this on your screen, like I said, we ain't flip-flopping to one side or the next. And you might hear that. We've had spaces before where you will hear somebody jump on the mic real quick and blurt out, vote for the Republicans. No. No, we ain't just talking. See, that's slave talk. Man, it's like that's free agent slave talk. You know what? I'm gonna take my free labor over here to this plantation. I think I get a better deal and get better treated over here on this plantation. I mean, shoot, it's literally sounding like a free agent slave. I just go over here, keep a contract with Mass over here, and I'll just sign this up for about 6 months. And if it don't work, then I go ahead and go to another plantation and see if I can find me a better master that know how to treat a slave. This right here, though, can't condone it.
You know, black people used to be Republicans until right after the Great Depression. I think we've ridden this donkey as far as I can take this. Okay? It's dead. I'm ready to get on a great big old African elephant. Right? We have to remember who Joe Biden
not an African elephant.
This is a guy
there.
who was mentored by Senator Byrd and people like Strom Thurmond, the card-carrying members of the Ku Klux Klan. So, you know, she represents Republican 2.0. What she's talking about for us is a new emancipation, socially, politically, economically. It's emancipation 2.0. And we have a real opportunity, not only with her candidacy, but with President Trump, to start again in this country, and recognizing where we've been. Look, I'm not telling any of you who are Democrats to rip up your voter registration. Okay? Maxine Waters, Auntie Maxine, imagine if she was really your auntie. She's really my auntie. What I'm saying is, after all of those years of dealing with failed policies, how many more lives, how much more time, how many more generations are we going to sacrifice at the altar of Democrat politics when they treat us as a political afterthought? An afterthought.
Now, that right there, and it sounds, see, when it comes out of Donald Trump's mouth, and of course it's going to sound like it's going to sound because, again, like I said, it's Donald Trump. What the hell do you expect? But what this man is saying is what we've been saying. The Democrats have been taking us for granted as a collective group, as a vote. And now with this whole thing with just with the Arabs showing up for a protest vote. See, don't worry about black folks. Don't worry about no black men. You better. Because them Arabs can't touch what Black America's vote means to all elections. And to do that, though, shows further disdain for our contributions here in America and abroad, by the way.
It's time for us to make.
This is what Joe Biden received. Again, forgive me, 1,141 votes. This is what Joe Biden.
Let me go back. Sorry.
You know, black people used to be Republicans until.
Good.
You know, black people used to be Republicans until
Not even on
right
camera.
after the Great Depression. I think we've ridden this donkey as far as it can take us. Okay.
Okay. So let me get back
It's
to it.
dead. Be it when white America, working class, and black America, working class, decides to work together, there's no demographic that can stop us. What other sign from God do you need than to see the predominantly white Republican Party moaning, groaning with us about the likes of the FBI and the CIA? We're talking about God's timing, right? Doesn't he have a way of making strange bedfellows? He has a way of drawing us together in perilous times to stand together, work together, fight together, vote together, lead this country together. Because those people who are inclined to its destruction are our common enemy. Our common enemy.
Interesting. Very interesting. Hooey. So, you know, it is just thinking when you have the conservative, you have the church crowd. I'm assuming that must be Arizona, because ain't that where Kari Lake is? And Kari Lake, she is not cool at all. I don't know why that Negro is sitting up there with her and all them people in that room, really. But I mean, again, I guess if you're gonna hear everybody out and be fair, then I guess under that understanding. But I mean, we've heard what she talking about when it comes down to black issues. So I don't know, dude. Don't know if that was the best look. I would say not. I would definitely say not. Let's see. Oh. So I guess Eric Adams has had enough. It looks like Eric Adams is kind of bugging. I saw an article that's talking about how he is basically wanting to get rid of the sanctuary city. You know what I'm saying? You say you like the Muppet Man. Not the one in the band. Yeah, it looked like a butter biscuit convention going on. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh man. But speaking of butter biscuits, here's a person that is upset and they're holding a burnt biscuit right now. They got a burnt biscuit award and they gave it to this guy here. So if for those who don't know, Mayor Adams is now calling to end sanctuary cities. Go freaking figure.
People tell me all the time, they see me on the street and they say, well, Eric, why don't you stop the buses from coming in? It's against the law, I can't. Why don't you allow those who want to work, allow them to work? It's against the law, federal law, I can't. Why do you say you have to house everyone that come in? Because that's the law. Why don't you deport those who commit crimes and harm people that are not doing the right thing? It's against the law, I can't. So I am inheriting a national crisis that I have to resolve, and we are resolving that crisis like no other city, folks. Go Google other cities. You don't see 10 cities in New York. You don't see children and families sleeping on the street in New York. This team here has managed the crises each time they come.
Okay, there's my mic back. I don't know what just happened. I don't know why my mic was muted, but I'm back. Okay, so here's some more of this stuff.
Now, we go over the alignments beside the cities that are here, they want to grow. I still don't understand why the federal government is not allowing them to grow. They need to be deported. All of us that have come to this country had the ability to do so. But those small numbers that are committing crimes.
Wait a minute. Wait. What did you say there, brother?
Like all of us that have come to this country.
All of who?
They need to have the right to grow, like all of us that have come to this country had the ability to do so. But those
that is a horrible reference. That's a very horrible reference when you think about it. I mean, wait, what? All of us that came over here there was a whole lot of people that came over here 400 years ago and joined up with these people that were here that got swept up and thrown in captivity. Oh man, they just loving that right to work now, aren't they? Ooh-wee. Yeah, we all had the right to work. Yeah, for free. It's called chattel slavery, dude. Horrible reference.
Small numbers that are committing crimes, we need to modify the sanctuary city law. And if you commit a felony, a violent act, we should be able to turn you over to ICE and have you deported. It is a right to live in this city, and you should be not committing crimes. We don't have the authority to do so.
Wow. They don't have the authority to deport anybody, but it makes sense because you're a sanctuary city. Wow. And I guess like even out there in Colorado, there are the outskirt neighboring areas. They're getting rid of their sanctuary city status and told Denver don't send any of their homeless there or send any of their migrants there. Yeah, then people seeing the disasters. And let's be clear, this really truly only exists because it was an agenda against us to begin with. I mean, let's keep it a buck. This was an agenda against us. And some people would probably say, well, that's not true. Joe Biden did not run on open borders. Well, and then for the people who keep saying, like, the impeachment of Mayorkas is unwarranted. Two things with this. Don't tell me nothing about how Joe Biden didn't open the borders. That's a lie. And don't tell me that with a stroke of a pen, he let the border crisis begin. Because that would be a lie. And this is why they impeached this guy.
I'd like to understand from you what Trump-era immigration policies have been banned, ended, reversed, and if any investigations are underway by you.
So we have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh man, that's great. And then you think what happened before this man even swore, because this meeting happened at the end of the year, right after the election. So about 20-something days after the election, he has his meeting, and this is what you get.
Because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And now we've seen the old mascots sit up there and get talked to like that. There are not no leaders. Because how the hell do you not check that man for talking to you like that? But nonetheless, we have more. The next generation of Mammy, the next generation of Sassy, and the next generation of cultural tethering. And when I say cultural tethering, I mean when you see Jasmine Crockett here, and of course she's coming out caping for Hunter Biden, just peep, and I just wonder if anybody will kind of sense the certain energy that she's trying to tap into, at least the way I see it.
I'm just waiting on the point that the American people, in the words of my amazing soror, Fannie Lou Hamer, get to the point that they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I mean, here's the reality. You're talking about an impeachment inquiry, and we know that Republicans could care less about facts. That is the reason that I said in the hearing in which we were going over whether or not they were going to find Hunter in contempt, I said the reason he would not want to testify behind closed doors is because all they do is lie. And I can tell you there is some lie that they are working on spinning coming up out of here. But let me tell you something. They have done nothing more than lie to the American people over and over and over, and they don't care. And it's because the American people, for whatever reason, are not sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because here's the deal. We have an impeachment that is now pending against Mayorkas, yet we still don't have the high crime nor the misdemeanor. They don't care about facts. They don't care about facts at all. We do. And maybe that's the problem with the Democrats right now, because we do care about facts, because we thought that they mattered. But clearly,
You right. Let me just pause right there. Because Jasmine Crockett, you were absolutely correct. You care about facts.
These people on, they are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel.
Clearly, they don't. All they want is a spectacle. And the spectacle right now is putting us in a sense of danger, not just in this country, but in this world. It
Yeah. And on that note, there's another little thing when you say that He's putting us in danger. Well, man, maybe you're a little too young to remember this. I'm not. But maybe you have never seen or heard this before.
Statements, but let's look at the facts. Since 1986, Congress has passed over 230 new or expanded penalties for drug and criminal offenses in this United States. 230 new penalties. And these penalties range from an automatic 5 years in jail for any person caught with a rock of crack cocaine, a piece of crack cocaine as small as a quarter. I don't have a quarter with me, but if you visualize what one looks like, yeah, I do have a quarter. If you have a piece of crack cocaine no bigger than this quarter that I'm holding in my hand, 1/4 of $1, we passed a law through the leadership of Senator Thurmond and myself and others, a law that says if you're caught with that, you go to jail for 5 years. You get no probation. You get nothing other than 5 years in jail. Judge doesn't have a choice. Now, the fact of the matter is, we've gone from there all the way up to saying, under the leadership of Senator Thurmond, and I'd like to suggest that I take some small credit for it myself as well, and others, the presiding officer, that there is now a death penalty. And we passed it a couple years ago. If you are a major drug dealer involved in the trafficking of drugs and murder results in your activities, you go to death. And
you go to death. Are you talking about danger to us? Ma'am, do you know we have lived through the turmoil that your president right now and his the president at the time, which has actually apologized for those bad policies, by the way, which Joe Biden has not. And here's one more big thing about this. The 94 crime bill is mostly drafted by Strom Thurmond. Yeah, let that one sink in. How anybody can sit up here and tell you that, oh man, you need to really look, Joe Biden ain't that bad. You out of your stone cold ass mind. No, ma'am. This man done way more harm to us while taking his cues and putting legal. You think that they were unaware that this would tear black folks apart? Are you kidding? This literally was penned by Strom Thurmond and Joe Biden, man. Never forget.
Is putting our allies in danger because right now what they're doing is they're peddling Russian lies. Basically, the Republicans have become synonymous for Russians at this point. It is a disgrace, and I'm just...
Huh? Mama, will you shut up? Because that's just stupid. Republicans are a party, not a people. I mean, they become the Russians. Jeez, really?
Imploring the people to become sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because let me tell you, if there was something that they could tie this president to, I would be the first one to be upset. Because I am an American first.
If there was something that you could tie this president to, I just played a great one. That 94 crime bill is a doozy. You know, I don't know. just, you know, when people act like they're unaware, it's like, yo. And just be clear. I mean, I understand. Jasmine Crockett is younger. She's not that damn young. But obviously she's too young to know things like that.
In a nutshell, the president's plan doesn't include enough police officers to catch the violent thugs, not enough prosecutors to convict them, not enough judges to sentence them, and not enough prison cells to put them away for a long time. That's why right now, 6 out of every 10 criminals who are arrested on drug charges have their cases dropped. That's why we think the president should triple the commitment that he's made tonight for police, prosecutors, and judges for our cities and our states.
Mr. Chairman, how do we talk?
That's your guy.
I was elected by my district to represent them as U.S. citizens. I wasn't here to do the peddling of any president. But at this point in time, just like the BS that we see going on with the other impeachment, there is nothing more than BS. And we know that you can't have something that is built on a house of cards. We know that there is no foundation. So the fact that we even showed up today, and we showed up early, and it wasn't to make sure that we could keep the lights in the government open. That's not why we showed up early. We showed up early because they wanted to take an opportunity to take punches at the president's son. And I am going to re-urge the American people to recognize we're talking about his son. We're talking about someone who is an actual citizen, just a regular citizen.
No, he's
We're
not.
not talking about somebody who could not pass a background check, yet somehow ended up being appointed to his administration. That's not what we're talking about.
Ooh, yeah. There's that other part. Like, why isn't Hunter Biden, or maybe he is being charged. I don't know if he's charged or not, but yeah, see that whole thing and how they put Asia Taylor in jail or in prison is based on her smoking marijuana and filling out a gun application. Well, the funny thing about Hunter Biden's situation is there's time-stamped video of him with crack at the same time when he was filling out his application for his gun. So, you know, it's not like he hasn't done anything. And then no one can really tell you what in the hell Hunter Biden actually really does. But he gets a whole lot of money from these rich oligarchs and all of these other people that, for whatever reason, and I guess we just don't know why it's happening, and we'll just say it's a witch hunt. All of this money's going over to Ukraine. You mean to tell me that there's not people over there, even from Russian people, that might have business interest benefits coming from this situation? Funny. And this is just so no, it's not, man. I mean, remember when the Obama kids got caught smoking weed, or got, you know, somebody posting them on a camera. Here they are smoking. Wow, what are they doing with those children? And again, Hunter Biden there's videos and pictures of him smoking crack. He's not his father. Yeah, we know. But here's the thing. This man did a lot of harm against black folks based on supposedly the war on drugs, which Joe Biden is responsible. He really, Nixon ain't got nothing on Joe Biden. Ronald Reagan really ain't got nothing on Joe Biden. No, what blew the doors off the black community was in the early 90s. You understand? So we have to be realistic. those of us who can remember and recall these people. That's why Hillary Clinton couldn't make it.
We're talking about a son that was struggling, a son that lost his mom, a son that lost his brother, a son that lost his sister, a son that has had a father that has been in politics since he was 2 years old. This has been his life.
Why is she over here preaching? Why is she preaching for Hunter Biden? What is this?
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he can't do. I'm telling you that this is a waste of time, and we need to get back to this people's work. I am tired. The Republicans are going to lose the House, and y'all run this back for them when they do. They're going to lose the House because they have lost focus of what our job is, and our job is to take care of the American people, and that's the last thing that they've done.
Thank you, Ms. Crockett, and our distinguished colleague.
Oh, Lord. Lord. Again. Please, oh, please, oh, please. And you're trying to sell us that Joe Biden is somehow cool. No, he's not. Let's see. Let's take a walk down memory lane. Okay. Yeah. Now, ooh, yeah. I mean, all the, man, you guys are trying to just destroy things out here. Well, no, we just have to deal with reality, though. You understand what I'm saying? And here's more of that reality.
As the senator made a very moving and eloquent speech as a son of the Confederacy, acknowledging that it was time to change and yield to a position that Senator Carol Moseley Braun raised on the floor of the Senate, not granting a federal charter to a organization made up of many fine people who continue to display the Confederate flag.
Yeah, did you catch that part, y'all? A few who?
Organization made up of many fine people.
Oh, okay.
Who continue to display the Confederate flag.
Oh, man, wow.
To a organization made up of many fine people who continue to display the Confederate flag.
Man, I'll tell you, boy. Whoo-wee, that Joe Biden, he sure ain't racist. I know, right? He is not racist at all. I mean, and man, how dare you remember when Trump said that there was some fine people with them white nationalists? Remember when Trump said that?
Statements, but let's look at the facts. Since 1986, Congress has passed over 230 new or expanded penalties for drug and criminal offenses in this United States. 230 new penalties.
This one. Yeah, here we go.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
Now look at who he's talking about. Look at who he's talking to. Just let that sink in. Look at who he is there talking to. The Asian and Latino Coalition. And see, here's the thing. And he go in there and talk to them, talk to their PACs. And you know, maybe we do need to have something like that. I mean, we need a black PAC. I mean, and not that faulty organization, but this is something you know, that I think, you know, we need to seriously consider moving in these directions as well. But he's literally there giving things, and this is before he got elected. So this is on the trail running for president. So put this in perspective. He gets elected. Both of those groups, I mean, hell, for the Latinos, they got instant access to the border. Instant access day one with a stroke of a pen. And you know, again, just what I just played for y'all, how there's so many of those border laws that have been reversed. It's like, yeah, let's get those out of here. We don't need those dirty laws. And then they'll tell you now that, oh, well, my hands are tied and I can't do anything. That's BS. Oh, remember this?
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you,
might sound right either. But yeah, okay, roaches. These little blacks.
Yet the House crime bill now mandates for them to get money for prisons. They have got to keep every prisoner in jail like we do federally 85% of the time for which they're sentenced. Right now, they're only kept in jail in the states on average 41% of the time. I like the idea they keep in jail longer. I'm the guy that wrote the bill requiring federal judges to keep people in jail 100% of the time for which they're sentenced, and the notable exceptions only 85%. So I'm all for tougher enforcement. But these guys just went through this whole mandate debate saying, hey, don't tell the states what to do.
This dude's happy about police.
In a nutshell, the president's plan doesn't include enough police officers to catch the violent thugs, not enough prosecutors to convict them, not enough judges to sentence them.
Wow. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't see that. Let me see. There's another one I'm going to play for y'all. Is this it? Okay, yep. Here's the other one I needed to play for y'all. Okay. Because, see, people forget. People be having these short memories, and they, Trump is horrible, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
The consensus is A, we must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not the person that is accosting your son or daughter or my son or daughter, my wife, your husband, my mother, your parents. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you add to that Hillary Clinton.
The fourth challenge is to take back our streets from crime, gangs, and drugs. And we have actually been making progress on this count as a nation because of what local law enforcement officials are doing, because of what citizens and neighborhood patrols are doing. We're making some progress. Much of it is related to the initiative called community policing, because we have finally gotten more police officers on the street. That was one of the goals that the president had when he pushed the crime bill that was passed in 1994. He promised 100,000 police. We're moving in that direction, but we can see it already makes a difference. Because if we have more police interacting with people, having them on the streets, we can prevent crimes. We can prevent petty crimes from turning into something worse. But we also have to have an organized effort against gangs. Just as in a previous generation we had an organized effort against the mob. We need to take these people on. They are often connected to big drug cartels. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs everywhere. In addition to that, he has appointed a new drug czar. You probably saw him Tuesday night. He's one of the most distinguished active military generals that we have in our country. He's already proven that he knows how to interdict drugs because of his command of the South American activity on behalf of the United States. But General McCaffrey will make a big difference, and I believe it is now time for all of us to know what we can do individually to be part of this anti-crime, anti-gangs, anti-drug effort. The fifth challenge is to protect.
And all that ended up being was an anti-black push. That's all that ended up being. But all remember, Hillary Clinton's a Dixiecrat. She came up under we went over the guy that she was not Mondale. We went under her. Her because she was under the dude, I can't even remember his name, but he was a segregationist as well. So they're both, Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, they are the students, understudies, and mentees of card-carrying Klan members. And so when you think of the crime bill, don't just think Joe Biden wrote this. Joe Biden wrote this crime bill with Strom Thurmond. So do road racists change their spots and he changed his way? Hell no. He made sure that he died tearing Negroes off. You understand what I'm saying? Rest in hell, Strom Thurmond. Piece of crap. I mean, shit. Okay, so I think this is the last little Joe Biden piece that I need to play. But because we got to be thorough with it. We have to be thorough with it. So let's see a little more good old Joe, because I hope everybody understands. And for those shills who might watch this, or you're getting this, somebody saying, hey, watch this guy. Well, keep this in mind. These aren't laws that are targeting a wide variety of groups. They're coming before Congress to target one specific group. So keep that in mind.
You can't expect police officers without clear guidance to do anything other than try to protect us by whatever means are necessary. I mean, I wonder what my friend from California would say if this beating case we saw out in Los Angeles, if in the process of that beating, that person confessed to having murdered somebody. Should it be admissible? If in the process of that beating, I asked that question to my friend. What was the fellow's name? Rodney King. If when Rodney King was being beaten, the guy we saw on television, in the process of that beating, Rodney King confessed to a murder that he did commit, should Rodney King be convicted under our laws?
Okay, now, so people think that these gaffes that he has now, no, they aren't gaffes. He's just showing you what he really is. And this is Joe Biden. He's been the slick anti-black stuff that he be saying has always been there. Yeah. Yeah, now just remember in the other video, you heard him refer to thugs. Okay? So this is Joe Biden, family.
That's my question.
I don't know under those circumstances. I really don't.
See, that's the problem.
The fact of the matter is, the answer is probably no.
Probably no.
Right.
Yeah. I think
I don't know how the courts would construe that, but probably no.
Well, usually the courts construe beatings, eliciting confessions, as not a good thing. And the reason they do that is we have a proposition about self-incrimination in our country. As a matter of fact, not only usually, always do they construe it that way. But my point is, there would be, assuming somebody had committed a murder, if the police beat the confession out of him, and he did commit the murder, and confessed to it, and that's what convicted him.
Do you hear the logic of this man? I mean, I just really wonder how people legitimately are trying to sell us this guy. Because some of us know who Joe Biden is. This is who Joe Biden is. So when you're trying to sell me on the idea that, man, you know, one is so much racist than the other, and man, the world is going to come to an end if he get up in office. Man, you know what he want to do? He want to put y'all back in chains.
Now, I wouldn't want that guy going free. I wouldn't want that person going free. They did commit a heinous murder, but the only way we're able to convict him is the police beat him up with a hose. Should that?
And why would you use Rodney King as an example? Rodney King was a very innocent man. And you're inferring in the situation of an innocent man getting beat by multiple officers, you're interjecting that scenario into, well, what if he actually like confessed to a murder and he did the murder? Even if he confessed to the murder, there still has to be a trial to convict him of it. So how beat it? And here's another thing. Do y'all understand the weird, twisted, sick logic that they be trying to sell black folks right now? Man, y'all remember, and don't get me wrong, Trump did go and run an ad and ran an ad to have death penalty on those on the Central Park kids. But let's be clear. This man brought a law to put drug dealers to death. So in one case, you putting up a billboard asking for death of these particular individuals. Here's the man on your screen say death to them all. As many of them drug dealing Negroes as we can get. If we could tie a death back to that person, we gonna get them. Now that didn't really fly, so that really didn't go down. But this was what they were pushing. And again, let me remind you that this man wrote the '94 crime bill with Strom freaking Thurmond. So you got a crime bill targeting foundational Black Americans by a card-carrying Klansman. And then you got these Negroes up here, man, Trump is this and Trump is that. Don't try to sell me on that. Matter of fact, Trump was hella cool all them years you was taking his money. Trump is a huge Democratic donor. Stop.
Person be denied their constitutional rights. Well, my gut tells me no. Yes, they should be. Hang them. They did it. But why is it that we don't allow those kinds of things to be admissible?
Trump is a totalitarianism and blah, blah. These draconian laws and the things that are done by police right now are here because of this. I mean, good grief. Yeah, this guy's not cool. I don't know how many people just can't understand that, but Joe Biden is not cool and not good for black folks, and he has been a danger. He has long been a danger to black folks, and he has solidly proved that. Now, here's my issue with these black so-called leaders and pundits and talking heads and shills now. They like to get up there and start finger wagging at black folks. Yeah. When with the whole black conservative thing, they're black conservatives. They was coons in the first place. What are you talking about? Have you no shame? So the whole thing about how they were trying to attack the black conservatives, that is kind of a proxy for all black men and the black male vote, because those people kind of hold the sentiment of where our agenda is, minus the reparations, of course. But, you know, it's just funny how then they start coming out and Al Sharpton, have y'all no shame? But trust me, he ain't just talking to the black conservatives. He's talking to the grassroots. You understand? Because that's who is really moving the needle. It ain't no black conservatives. Ain't nobody listening to them at all. So trust me, then when you see stuff like this, what I'm about to play, this is about you, family, and the names that you are making for yourself as your own identity and agenda, and the shills.
I repeat, the insult of saying that black voters would in some way be enticed to support him because he had a mugshot like all of us are criminals, or to say that because he has 4 indictments, one of which, or really 2 of which, both Georgia and the federal, around him trying to rob votings when we had to fight. People were bloodied, beaten, and killed to get us the right to vote. And one person, one of his supporters, got on Fox News saying blacks love him because of the sneakers. So let me get this right. He didn't support George Floyd Justice and the Policing Act, Biden did, and signed an executive order. He didn't support the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. But we supposed to go for sneakers and a mugshot. And those blacks that are standing there with him, have you no shame?
Now, when you see stuff like that, it's like, okay, they're black conservatives. I get it. And they're going to support who they're trying to support. But with that being said, we can't. We just simply cannot overlook history. So if you're going to say these people look bad for standing with this guy, ladies and gentlemen, a blast from the past.
I now want to bring forth a friend who has, well, he is deceptive in that his social style is of such. One can miss his seriousness, and his commitment for their success is beyond argument. When we opened this Wall Street project and we talked about it, he gave us space at 40 Wall Street, which was to make a statement about our having a presence there. And beyond that, in terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And created for many people a comfort zone when I ran for the presidency in 84 and 88. And many others thought it was either laughable or something to avoid. He came to our business meeting here in New York because he has this sense of the curious and a will to risk to make things better. And so aside from all of his style, and his pizzazz, he's a
Jesse
serious
talking
person
him up, ain't he?
who's an effective builder of building for the builder of people. Last year, he was a part of our workshop, of our panel workshop on what are the challenges and opportunities. And so this, a year later, Donald Trump, for a few minutes, challenges and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
Well, it is an honor to be here, and I was with Jesse last year, and we had a lot of fun, and it was a little different. We had a real panel where you asked questions and everything, and we didn't do so much speaking, so I'm going to get off here very quickly because I want to hear some questions. Jesse started off by saying most of the wealth in this country is in the hands of a few, and I thought to myself, is that a bad thing? What's wrong with that, Jesse? But he did have an expression last year, and I was just telling Roger. He had an expression last year, the wall on wall must fall. And you haven't used it today, and I'm very disappointed in this, Jesse, because I thought it was a great expression. And I heard the expression about 14 times, and then he came to me at the end of the session, and he said, listen, I want some office space in your building on Wall Street, because the wall on wall will fall. And I said, it's okay, Jesse, I'll make a good deal with you. I'll get you some space. You'll pay about $40 a foot. And he said, no, I don't want to pay 40. I said, how about 30? No. It was the cheapest deal I ever made in the history of 40 Wall Street. Is that right? He got it for nothing. He's a very tough negotiator. We know that, right? Nah, he's a terrific guy. We love him, and I'm here for him. And the snow came, and I said, gee, nobody's going to show up, and look at this place, it's packed. I do want
How soon they forget. See, some of us know, right? Again, all of these former donors that switch up, and I mean, this is the business of politics. But see, the part of the business that has been consistent in politics is playing black folks. And you know, we are saying no more. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. It's time to stop letting folks play in our faces. And all these other, like with these politicians, these black ones, these do-nothing Negroes who just feel that they have nothing better to do than to promote everything that is a detriment to black folks. We got new sassy mammies coming out. And then also we have this whole situation in Dalton, Illinois. And I've been seeing these videos and clips of this mayor out of Dalton. And I see that the FBI is now investigating. Are you noticing that a lot of these black women that have been appointed and been elected are now all of a sudden having legal issues? Like it's a lot of these women that thought they was gonna be able to just do whatever they wanted to do because them folks like them. And they getting lit up right now. But this one, on the other hand, family, I got some questions about what's up in Dalton, because y'all elected this woman?
Super Mayor Tiffany A. Henry, the people's mayor. So I heard you guys was looking for me. If you looking for Tiffany Henry, press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. So, what you want me to talk about? This or that? This and that? Or me? Tiffany A. Henry. You pick. Put your questions in the comments, and I'm gonna answer all questions. Just be respectful. If you disrespectful, I'm not gonna answer it. Because remember, I got the tea with the receipts. Matter of fact, if you want the tea, get it from me. Go tell that.
All righty then. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Well, that's an interesting character, ain't it? Ooh, she is sure enough interesting character. Oh man, but there's more.
More controversy is brewing in South suburban Dalton.
So last night, police shut down 2 popular bars. One trustee says the reason? Because they're not financially supporting Dalton's mayor, Tiffany Henyard. Our Dan Scotto has more.
Is it coincidence or retaliation? Both of the Dalton bars that were raided and shut down last night, we visited the day before as part of our ongoing investigation into allegations of political corruption in Dalton.
Hold on, man. Now this lady pulling mafia moves on fools. What? You ain't kicking into the mayor's pot. So yeah, I don't know how much longer business gonna be good for you, but you better go ahead and drop that bag off for the mayor. Who knows how your liquor license gonna turn out? I mean, they over there do a raise like on Harlem Nights and Sugar Rays. This woman is a beast.
They just rushed in here, put police at the front of the door like they was doing a raid on the drug house or something.
A team of Dalton police officers raided and shut down Pablo's Bar and Cafe and Rinky's Bar and Cafe, both located on Sibley, about a block apart.
Everything going peacefully. Nothing going on. It's like 10 police cars came in and they start pushing customers from here. And he said, if you don't leave, we're going to lock you up.
Employees and owners say it's part of an ongoing campaign of harassment by Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard that is costing jobs and money. Their business licenses have been stripped by Dalton, but they've continued to operate with a state license.
I have like over 23 employees. They work from the local township. Now, end of the day, all the employees, they're going to lose their job.
It's ridiculous. We all have mouths to feed. We all have kids. They're not giving us no explanation.
On Monday, we visited both Rinky's and Pablo's to ask about allegations their licenses were being held up for political reasons. Then last evening, we broke the story that FBI agents have questioned at least a half dozen people, including business owners, a former Dalton employee, and an elected official as part of an investigation into Mayor Henyard. Less than 2 hours after our story aired, police raided the 2 bars.
Someone...
Yeah, now that's gangster. Oh, wow. Who did y'all elect out there? I mean, good grief. Oh yeah, I seen her on Roland Martin, and that Roland Martin was softballing it. But even with softball questions, her lies are horrible. And then he'd be like, well, this is the, what is it? Like friends of her. She's like, oh, well, that's not my organization. But it has your name on it. Well, somebody liked me and they felt to put my name on a charity. So it's not your charity. Not at all. Well, who's responsible for it? I don't know. I mean, it's just somebody just chose to do it. Oh my goodness. This woman is something else. And she doing stuff like this. This is a cold piece of work.
I'm seeing you go in there. And then 2 hours after your story airs, that police are at both of these establishments.
Dalton trustee Tammy Brown says she believes the raids are meant to send a warning to others not to talk. And she believes there's a reason so many
Hold
Dalton
on.
business.
Does that woman have her name on the
After
building?
your story airs, that police are at both of these establishments.
Dalton trustee.
I have never seen that before. Well, maybe that's just something, but the Village of Dalton Municipal Building, Mayor Tiffany A. Henyard. Oh my Lord. Oh goodness. Man, sir, thanks for the Cash App donation. Appreciate it. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you and yours. I appreciate that. This woman got her name on it. Boy, this woman is vain as hell, ain't she?
Tammy Brown says she believes the raids are meant to send a warning to others not to talk.
Wow.
And she believes there's a reason so many Dalton businesses are having trouble getting their licenses renewed.
I'm sure that they were asked to make a donation, and most likely they didn't make a donation. So you don't get a chance to stay open if you don't pay the Queen's ransom.
Now, tomorrow evening, there will be a special public meeting of the trustees who are opposed to the mayor, in which they plan to take action on the village's finances, getting access to Village Hall. They've been locked out, and welcoming that investigation by federal agencies.
Wow. And there's another story about this woman to where where I guess they say that she had gang members go shoot up this person's home. Now I don't know if it's true, but here's here's the really dilly. When them city council meetings start hitting, that's when things get a little rough. You start hearing the what the numbers really truly sound like, and this one right here, oh my Lord, yo.
But at the end of the day, nobody comes here to argue with you. Nobody at all. There are bills that we have the right to take off. We have the right to make decisions about. You say that you're running it at the end of the day, because this is going to be the narrative when we go broke. You're going to say, I wasn't even on the bank account. The trustees did it. When at the end of the day, you're making decisions and spending money and then get mad when we don't approve it because it's not financially sound. I sat here and looked at a lease that y'all paying $149,000 for one of them trucks. You make that's like when you're 19 years old and you go get a car and the interest rate 27%. That makes absolutely no sense. You're not making great finance. Excuse me?
Wow.
Please stay facts. But let me tell you, here it is, dated December 27th, 2022. The cash price of a 2023 Chevy Tahoe, $93,216.71. Interest and APR, $55,929.49. Total lease price.
What kind of idiot would do that? So the car is the truck itself is $93,000. You were leasing this mug with the interest at $55,929. That's a whole nother car. Whoever this, yes, this is most definitely financial mismanagement. Good grief. Oh, that right there is a beast. $55,000 in interest. You out your damn mind, man.
$149,146.20. Tell me if it's not facts, because your signature is all on it.
I don't see that.
Okay, but you want to put?
Wait a minute. Wait. Her name in print. It's dated. It's signed. The lessee signature is right there. Tiffany A. Henyard, mayor. I don't see it. Wow. Woo-wee.
I don't.
All right.
I'll
but
give
at
my
the
statement
end,
in a
at
few
the
minutes
end
when
of
you
the
finish.
day, it's not about going back and forth with you. It's about making financial decisions that is in the benefit of everybody and just not one person. And you can't seem to understand that. Have a great day.
Wow. Wow. Whoa. Ooh, Dalton, what is going on in Dalton? I mean, really, what the heck is going on in Dalton? That is insane, man. And I'm telling you, like the whole shooting thing. That's if you guys look on this somewhere on X. Oh, yeah, and there's more. So here's another story on her. Man, this is, and you know, so all of these black women that they have been touting, notice how all of them are catching hell legally right now. Here's some more of this story, but they're man, they are digging into the numbers, family.
A follow-up to a heated board meeting last night in South Suburban Dalton. Trustees are calling for an investigation into the town's mayor, Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Christian Farr has a look at what happens next.
This is not a dictatorship, and that's the problem that we're having.
Dalton trustee Brittany Norwood says she and many of her fellow village trustees have been fighting to save Dalton.
I am your leader.
They say Mayor Tiffany Henyard is preventing them from doing their jobs. And is
So Dalton obviously has an extremely high demographic of black folks. But I mean, she said, Marion, who said it? Marion said the new gangster boo. Good Lord. So basically, she high siding. Because I mean, I'm looking at their whole board meeting. I ain't been nowhere where I seen the whole board of your township is all black. Like, what's going on in Dalton? Like, don't put that stain on a black city or village or township or whatever is going on there. Does anybody in the chat know like where Dalton is? Like, what is where? Because I've never seen. I didn't know you had villages in Chicago or in Illinois. That's new to me because we don't have those out here, but we don't have parishes out west either. Or a ward. Well, yeah. Well, no, ain't no wards out here. No, not like that. Illinois. Yeah, I know Dalton's in Illinois. I mean, like, is it close in proximity to Chicago? Okay, Dalton is a major black suburb. Okay. Now I'm like, wow. And you know, folks ain't looking like they doing bad. So, hey.
also blocking them from seeing
Got
any of the village spending.
We're asking for credit card statements, we're asking for bank statements, and we're asking for information that help us, assist us as trustees to know how the money is being spent.
There needs to be an ordinance in place so that no future mayor can spend as they want to.
Last night, the Board of Trustees held a special meeting where a resolution was passed that calls for an investigation into Mayor Henyard and village spending.
Wow.
Trustee Norwood says some trustees were locked out of the village's finances when they discovered in September that Dalton was $7 million in debt.
We're able to track receipts for
What? Oh, it's just a couple minutes from Chicago. Oh, okay. Thank you, Angelica Lena. And Key Prince said it is 80% black. Okay. All right. That explains a lot of what I'm seeing. All right. Because I'm like, you got a city council, like you're having a city council meeting and everybody's black. Where this town at? So, okay. Dang. 80% black, 90% black, southern suburb outside the Chicago area. The village is about 20,000 residents. Wow. Thank you, Cynthia Newman. Thank you. And Kerwin, I see you in the house. Thank you. And Black Jack in the house. I see you. And DSM Sinister in the house. I see you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Man, this is crazy. Oh, Rhonda Smith in the house. I see you. Thank you for being here. So yeah, you this story is crazy, ain't it? And I mean, she was taking lavish trips and whatnot, but $7 million in the hole. What were you doing?
Spending, and then we shared it with the public. And once we started sharing it with the public, our access was denied.
The Tribune is reporting that federal authorities, including the FBI, have been investigating Mayor Henyard, and the Illinois Attorney General's office has questions about a charitable foundation connected to the mayor that has not been registered with the state. In response to that special meeting, the village said in part that this is just another example of a few trustees in the village spreading lies and false allegations, and then accused those trustees of charging more than $5 million in frivolous lawsuits that the Dalton taxpayers are stuck with the tab.
The residents are now feeling that this is the best time, more than ever, that we kind of stick together and work as a community to force this administration to work with us.
Trustee Norwood says that it's likely the mayor will block that investigation during the next board meeting in March. He says that will lead to another special meeting to make certain that investigation does take place. In Dalton, Christian Farr, NBC 5 News.
Thanks to Christian.
Wow. All right. That's hella gangster. Now you add to that, like I told y'all before, with the other situation where she supposedly had somebody shot at, had their house shot up. Because they got the little videos. I guess this is back in 2016. And yeah, you got it looked like a hit. That's what it looked like, because you see the two dudes, they run around from the house, then jump in the back of a white truck, a SUV, and dip out. So yeah, it was very interesting. Well, it was not quite a drive-by, but they hopped out and had a getaway car waiting to go. It's like, okay. And she's suspected of having done this. And then just to now see how she's kind of done everybody else. These people talking about corruption, they had did the interview the day before. 2 hours after the thing airs, the police come rushing in. Dude said like a dope ring. Oh man, that's crazy. That is crazy. And you know, it's a shame that that's you know, that's the case out there. Oh, wow. That's all I can really say is wow. And so now she has a podcast. I just don't understand, you know. And like I said, something about her kind of strikes me with a touch of mental illness. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Is it me? I mean, you know, I kind of feel a little bit of mental illness going on there. Maybe there's some mental and emotional issues. Something of the sort happening. You know? I am not sure. But one thing I'm certain of, $7 million, putting your little village, your suburb in the hole, $7 million. And there's the little video clip where they're asking her if she took the trip to Vegas. And she's like, But do I have that? This woman is nuts. Yeah, this woman is nuts, y'all. When I saw this, I'm like, wait. Because I've been seeing the headlines and whatnot. And so I didn't really get into the story. And then once I really took a solid look at what was happening, I'm like, whoa. Like, how the hell did you guys, like, what did you see when you thought she was the candidate to lead your city? What was it? I mean, I don't get it. Y'all wanted this?
Handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
You're not going to answer how taxpayer dollars are being spent? That seems odd.
I just answered it. What do you mean? I just answered your questions.
You said you wouldn't answer about Las Vegas.
You asked me a question and I responded.
We can't band together at this time, at this moment. This is going to be Black History Month, right? Y'all all say Martin Luther King had a dream, but guess what? I am the dream.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. Black History Month. Of course I'm going to give away $1 million to help you pay your mortgage and your rent. Of course I am. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. We getting scrutinized in the media. For what? Loving on the people, showing them that they matter to us. We going through the fires for y'all. It's Black History Month. As the first African-American female mayor of Dalton, of course I'm misunderstood. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, she is speaking at the DNC convention. The Tiffany, oh, well, it is the convention's in Chicago, right? They might want to reconsider that. They might want to reconsider that. Lord. Ooh-wee. That's a cold piece of work. A cold piece of work. But nonetheless, moving on to the last conversation of the evening. And I got just a couple of clips here for you. Because again, doubling back to how things have played out And we already know. Remember when I showed you that older video from 2019 that Joe Biden was running and sitting up there talking to the Asian and Latino coalition. And then once he got in office, this happened.
I'd like to understand from you what Trump-era immigration policies have been banned, ended, reversed, and if any investigations are underway by you.
So we have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them.
Wow. And meanwhile, in Boston,
tonight, some people who live in this neighborhood voiced their anger and frustration at a community meeting with state officials about this emergency shelter that's opening its doors. Neighbors feel like they had no say in this process, and officials had no answers for them either.
Wait. Can we kindly have a little bit of decorum in the room?
No, this is my neighborhood. Fuming neighbors who called Fort Point home grilled state officials about the 80 migrants who will call 24 Farnsworth Street a temporary home. The office space owned by the Unitarian Universalist Association will be turned into the latest overflow shelter.
How is it a done deal when you cannot answer these questions?
Safety and security, location, and facilities topping the concerns.
You said this is real. How are you going to ensure we're safe?
So we get no say as residents of the town, residents of the city, neighbors.
I would like to see a little bit more compassion. That's my point of view. Thank you.
Neighbors like Brian Curley say the community didn't have a voice before the decision was made.
I think there's a lot of angry residents here who feel the same way I do, that this was being forced on us.
General Scott Rice, who's overseeing the state's strange shelter system, vowed security for families living in the shelter and neighbors in the community.
Our track record has been very good. We've had very, very, very few incidents.
United Way is the nonprofit that will run the shelter. Neighbors voiced their concerns to them about no showers on site and a plan to bus migrants to local Ys for services. Though United Way says there will be at least 6 bathrooms in the space.
We certainly would not put anybody in a space that has anything unsafe for them.
And while some are ready to welcome shelter residents with open arms,
this is a great idea. Smart thinking. I think it should happen more often.
Some are still frustrated at the lack of information.
There was a lot of questions tonight. There were not a lot of answers.
State officials say there'll be another meeting on Friday where they hope to have more answers for the community.
Now, this is funny because this is not a black neighborhood. That's what makes it so funny. Because, you know, when they was shoving them in the hood, you know, you didn't hear from this group. Now they over there, this is my city. And then, of course, Tater man. Yeah, of course they found the one Negro to walk by there. Yeah, man, I actually think this is a good idea. Shut up. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Stop. Good. Yeah, he probably an immigrant. You know, it's Boston, so you know, strong chance. Strong chance of that. And speaking of that, of black immigrants, ending on Chicago. And I know a lot of y'all have probably already seen this video clip today. But in Chicago, Mexican man is now trying to claim that Mexicans are also black. Here we go.
My name is Gabriel Cortez. I am the co-founder of Grassroots Voices for Chicago. Born and raised in the city of Chicago proudly, as my parents are from Mexico, immigrants, and they did not take nobody's job. I will say, in terms of Brandon Johnson saying the Soul of Chicago is the history of immigration that we had in this city. Even when the indigenous people were here, Chicago was a trading post. And we had different tribes and nations, Ojibwe, Potawatomi, Miami tribes, and many more. We have diversity today, and let's accept that. In the name of Harold Washington, the greatest mayor of the city of Chicago, he made the city a sanctuary so people
He
can
didn't make
live
it
here.
for invasion,
So they can live here.
It wasn't for invasion.
And he knows what is the effect of the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 that denied free black folks to come to the North. He knew this is the same thing we're doing to people who are surviving.
Which
who are
was the
surviving
Democratic
Venezuela because of the 3 sanctions imposed by Trump and Obama, and that is why they're living hardship right now with no food, medicine coming in. Know the history. White folks, white supremacy is laughing right now because they see us fighting. We need to work together. We need to work together. I will say, with love, sir, with love, please. I love you. I love you. So, I will say, in terms of that 5-year-old who passed away, where is the money going? We spent millions of dollars, and why can't we take care of that 5-year-old boy? Right? We need to act with humanity in the name of Mayor Washington, who pushed this, who understood what solidarity is. And I will say that we are here to share this voice, to welcome the Venezolanos, because Chicago has always welcomed migrants from the South.
Legal.
Right? From Fugitive Slave Act, man. Look it up.
Times can we hold
From
the
white
comments,
groups, right?
please?
And
Fugitive
today,
Slave
21st
Act.
century,
Yes,
you are looking, Venezolanos are actually part.
Direct your comments to the
Yes,
chair, please.
the Venezolanos are actually part of the black diaspora. Recognize it. We are all black inside of us. We come from Africa. Let's know this history and right.
Dude, you cannot be serious. We got African ancestry. Sorry, Chico, but no, sir. I don't think so. That was a joke. You cannot be serious. Fire up the jet. Because illegal immigration has not helped us at all. We need to see loads and loads and loads of planes hitting the tarmac, just like they did with Port-au-Prince. You understand what I'm saying? Well, when they sent all them folks back to Port-au-Prince, CNN was interviewing them as the plane was landing in Haiti. Can you dig it? Got to get these folks back to where they came from. And not to mention, you got a whole, you're bringing them over. Now this, keep this in mind, family. Apple's laying off people. Nike laying off people. All of these PlayStation laying off people. All of these big companies are laying off. As we are hearing about these invaders need to be able to work. But now there's massive layoffs at the same time when this country is being flooded with illegal immigrants. And here's the other thing. All of these, you had held folks' jobs hostage for them to get that jiznab. For those who were in that situation, you had people taking breaks from school because you couldn't go to certain colleges and have not gotten the jiznab. But now they can lay off all of these workers. Think about all these layoffs we're talking about. Again, this is in Biden's economy. So has the stress of this economy not really shown its true form? When we're having mass layoffs, bank closures, Macy's is closing, bunch of stores. I think things should be very obvious and apparent to most individuals with sense. And this is from this guy. who will give you empty gestures and tell you, the African-American community stood up again for me. You always had my back, and I'll have yours. And me and Strom Thurmond wrote this law to tear your backs apart. And now we have nothing but a disaster to show for this man's time in office. It's an absolute travesty for anybody to still be telling black folks they are wrong for not wanting to support this guy. They're absolute fools. And most importantly, absolutely should not be trusted. And here's the thing what's happening now. We are literally in a position to where the black agenda has to be heard, but they're doing everything against even acknowledging the black agenda. They're trying to throw everything out there. Seeing what sticks, I guess. And that's what they're supposed to do at the end of the day. Because, at the end of the day, white supremacy takes both sides of the argument. And we are literally seeing that right now. And one of the other sides of the argument that I seen here, and I can't help but notice the type of face they keep putting on things. And yeah, I forgot I wanted to play this for y'all tonight. Yeah. Let's get to this. Because here's the other thing we're going to start looking for. And not to mention, so look for these Afro-Latinas or Afro-Latinos to start popping up and then start talking like, and it's so funny right after A-Rod coming out. Yeah, I'm Dominican. That's what you don't understand. Yeah, well, they finna be black here really soon, at least for the next 9 months or so. But check this out.
Asylum seekers come to the United States fleeing persecution.
But it can take years to win asylum. In the meantime, we have to work. We want to provide for ourselves and our families.
And to contribute to our new home.
But a required 180-day waiting period has asylum seekers waiting on the sidelines, unable to work for months.
Nuestras comunidades están listas para recibir a los buscadores de asilo con las manos abiertas.
And as local businesses seek employees, the path forward is clear.
We need to let asylum seekers work.
Letting asylum seekers work can help address our labor challenges and drive growth.
The Asylum Seeker Work Authorization Act can reduce the wait times from 180 days to just 30.
This goes beyond the economy.
It touches the very core of our shared humanity and the values we hold dear.
The dignity of work and providing for your family.
When asylum seekers work, our communities don't just grow, they flourish.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win.
By tapping into our shared potential, we can shape a brighter future for our communities.
Let asylum seekers work.
Let asylum seekers work.
Let asylum seekers work.
Dejemos trabajar a los buscadores de asilo.
Let asylum seekers work.
Let asylum seekers work.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black,
The moral of the story is that a lot of these individuals you see out here ain't nothing but this.
Buck dancing, shuffling, scratching, bootlicking, bamboo.
Because none of them can understand this.
To put it in the frame of reference, everyone, when they talk about racism and white supremacy, should always start by saying that the focus, the objective should be replace white supremacy with justice. Those are the 5 basic words.
Keeping it simple. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Hey, Phantom Beat in the house. I see you. Nichelle Hargrave in the house. I see you. Thank you for being here. Yes, indeed. Yes, thank all of y'all for who have been tuned in this evening. We are going to get ready to get on out of here. But the one thing we definitely have to address is these people who are going to try to come at us as if we don't know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with white supremacy on both sides. So never come over here talking about one is this, one is that, when no one is giving any tangibles for black folks. So again, for those of you who are watching right now and might be upset that these new black media, don't be listening to these new black media guys that tell you to vote for the couch. The grassroots voice is extremely loud at this moment. And deservingly so. It is long overdue. Long, long, long overdue. And so everything that I played tonight, if you're still hell-bent on riding the Joe Biden and Democrat wave and believing that Trump is Satan in the flesh and that there any difference between the two, because you're still looking at it emotionally. We are looking at it from a business standpoint, and none of them are bringing us anything. So a protest vote sometimes might end up being a no vote. And if you can't understand that, well, not that I need to call your name, remember this also. When you say YouTubers, don't have a YouTube yourself. I'm just saying. So I can speak for myself. BeatZillapdx official, the BeatZillapdx official show. All of you in the chat, the grassroots, the voices in new black media, I think it's pretty safe to when I say, if you don't think we got it right, well, we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
Oh, that just tickles me. Oh, Lord. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to donate, contribute to this broadcast, you can do so at CashApp, $beatzillapdx. That's CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And also we have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZillaMuzak at PayPal. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you have a good evening. And until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do. Stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Peace.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.